Cousins just walking to the store in San Bernardino were shot at. A 12-year-old boy is dead, and the search is on for the shooter. CBS 2's Jasmine Veals just spoke to the family. She's live in San Bernardino with the latest. Jasmine?
112th Street, this is where it happened. Imagine 24 hours ago, almost exactly 24 hours ago, where I am standing, according to the police.
Hunting for a killer after a 15-year-old boy was gunned down. He was walking home with his sisters. Suddenly, he was shot and killed.
Yeah, so police bumped the number of shooting victims up to 15 early this morning. They were shot during what police are calling an exchange of gunfire outside of...
Get away from me! It's the other guy! It's the other guy!
Now on CBS 2 News at 11 and streaming on CBSN Los Angeles. Outrage tonight after deputies pointed rifles at 3 teenagers in Santa Clarita. Turns out they were the victims who needed help.
Calls for change rang out throughout the city this afternoon as hundreds marched through the downtown core, calling on the provincial government to do more to end systemic racism in Ontario schools.
He's the father of the young man we mentioned earlier, Horace Lorenzo Anderson. He was murdered in Seattle's CHOP zone, autonomous zone, or summer free love zone on June the 20th. Horace Lorenzo Anderson Sr. is with us.
All right, thank you, Tom. Well, in Caterpillar Parish, students at Block High School refusing to go to class.
Yeah, they say the lack of certified teachers is preventing them from getting a quality education. Cassandra Merritt talked to some students, teachers, and parents and tells us what they're doing to make sure their voices are heard.
That since his brother was killed and his mother had been shot,
I look at the world from awakening eyes and a black face, and this is what I see. This fenced-off narrow space assigned to me. I look then at the silly walls through dark eyes and a dark face, and this is what I know. That all these walls oppression builds will have to go. I look at my own body with eyes no longer blind, and I see that my own hands can make the world that's in my mind. Then let us hurry, comrades, the road to find.
Nearly 32% of black students live in poverty, compared to the 10% of white students living in poverty. This means more than likely black students will end up attending a low-income school, as stated by the National Schools Board Association. 45% of black students attend high poverty schools, compared to the 8% of white students. Being in a low-income school results in problems for the kids, such as the lack of tools, materials, facilities, and even a strong teacher. The U.S. Department of Education states that every student needs and deserves a strong teacher, but research indicates low-income students are less likely to have effective teachers than their peers.
And tear down those cages in the cafeteria. You treat them like animals, that's exactly how they'll behave.
Growing up in a low-income neighborhood and/or high school due to structural racism puts black students at a higher risk of having exposure to violence, mental illness, and gangs.
Oh, we got a problem here? We got a problem here? We got a problem, nigga?
Oh, what up with this?
Gun away, nigga.
Can we have one night where there ain't no fight, nobody gets shot?
In the paper entitled Racial Discrimination, A Continuum of Violence Exposure for Children of Color, Kay Sanders Phillips defines the major models that establish racism as a risk factor toward violent behavior. Sanders Phillips asserts that racial discrimination 1. Causes trauma by creating isolation, marginalization, psychological harm, and perceived danger. 2. Limits the ability of the community and parents to protect children and promote resiliency. And 3. Creates a level of psychological distress affecting a child's ability to cope with external stress. Thus, without the abilities for low-income parents and communities to protect children and promote resiliency and help with mental illnesses like psychological harm and perceived danger, it puts their young in the risk factors for gang involvement, which include poverty, a perceived need for protection, truancy, peer pressure, and poor community conditions.
Jamal, what's up?
Why can't we go in right now?
They're waiting to catch somebody inside.
What we gonna do?
Come on.
What?
Shit, come on!
Move! Come on, man! Come on!
Why? They'll pass by.
Come here! What's up? Oh, no! Get down like this!
It's alright. We're okay. G, we're okay. G, come on. Get up, G, come on. Come on, G. Come on. It's okay. We'll just wait for somebody to come. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
On top of living in poverty and attending a low-income school that can't support their education and being exposed to racism, gangs, mental illness, and violence, young black kids have to worry about the man in blue and whether or not he will save them or turn against them at any given time. The Analyst, written by Justin Fieldman, shows that socioeconomic positions plays a significant role in police killings. The highest poverty areas have a police killing rate of 6.4 per million, while the lowest poverty areas have a police killing rate of 1.8 per million, a 3.5-fold difference. I too sing America. I am the darker brother they send me to eat in the kitchen. When company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table. When company comes, nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. Therefore, we see some individuals in the black community trying to help and make a change, like LeBron James, who has opened schools for the low income and even rebuilt parks in order to start a movement of community revitalization and to lessen the impact of structural racism and its never-ending cycle that keeps generations in the same high poverty areas going to the same low income schools with depleting graduation rates and putting their lives at risk. So let us end the cycle.
What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mamas. I think the whole world's addicted to the drama, only attracted to things that'll bring the trauma. Overseas, yeah, we trying to stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA, the Bloods and the Crips and the KKK. But if you only have love for your own race, then you only leave space to discriminate, and to discriminate only generates hate. And when you hate, then you're bound to get irate. Yeah, madness this is what you demonstrate. And that's exactly how anger works and operates. Man, you gotta have love just to set it straight. Take control of your mind and meditate. Let your soul gravitate to the love, y'all.
People killing, people dying, children hurt and you hear them crying. When you practice what you preach and what you turn the other cheek. Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above. These people got me questioning, where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love?
It just ain't the same, always new change. New days are strange, is the world insane? If love and peace is so strong, why are the pieces of love that don't belong? Nations dropping bombs, chemical gases filling lungs of little ones with ongoing suffering as the youth are young. So ask yourself, is the loving really gone? So I could ask myself, really what is going wrong in this world that we living in? People keep on giving in, making wrong decisions, only visions of them dividends. Not respecting each other, denying thy brother. A war's going on, but the reason's undercover. The truth is kept secret, it's swept under the rug. If you never know truth, then you never know love. What's the love, y'all?